I am back.
Same here.
I am so sorry for that. Alrighty then. Yeah, I'm gonna just get the stream up on my side so I can just see what's happening. Sorry about that. There you are. And I will mute it because I don't want to hear myself. Actually, how much delay is there? Oh my god, there's so much delay. I only just said I'd mute it.
Yeah, I noticed it too.
Should be fine. It should be fine. Just make sure you keep us updated on what slide you're on.
Yeah.
Because then I'll just look at it on my side.
Alright, we'll
I'll
go ahead and
send a-
start up the slide at about 5 minutes.
Yeah. If I could spell English, I would be very happy. I live in England, but I have no idea what the English language is.
That makes you English.
You'd think. I
Like,
just hate
that's
all
how
those
it works.
words. I know. I just hate all those words where they got like the silent letters and stuff. Just deliberately there to trick you. Ooh, we're up to 6 viewers on my end.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Sure to know. How's it going? Cut it as close as possible. I meant to get up earlier, but I didn't fall asleep till like 4 a.m.
Well, you got up for the time, it's fine.
Just fucking barely.
I know, I was kind of sweating some bullets, so I was sending Hamish some messages a second ago, before you woke up. I guess, though, in a minute we shall introduce ourselves, even though I think the majority of everyone knows who we are.
Yeah.
You can speak for yourself.
Well,
Oh, they
I
can
mean-
they can associate the voices with the people.
yeah, they need to associate the voice. For all I know, I could be Fizz. The message in the Discord there.
Did you mess up the time zones?
No, no, it's 9 for me. Wait. Yeah, no, it's 9 for me.
Just look. 20 times.
He might be.
Yeah, he's right. It's 8.
It's not it. I've got 2100.
Is GMT the right time zone?
GMT's Britain when I looked it up.
Yeah, it's London. But
Because it's GMT because it's no, it's got like
Wait.
it's named after a place.
I just looked it up.
Greenwood London. I've been
Yep,
there.
Greenwich.
Yeah, Greenwich.
Google says it's 8 p.m. GMT time zone.
Yeah. I'm confused. My clock's telling me 9 o'clock.
Are you living an hour in the like in the future?
Maybe. I mean, I'm on the east coast of Britain, so I don't think it should have been too much of a difference. I'm pretty sure all of Britain's in the exact same time zone.
Oh, it shouldn't be such a difference because I'm 1 hour further than you.
Yeah, and you're in Netherlands. It's not too
Yeah,
far away. Ugh,
It
time
may
zones.
have something to do with Brexit. Maybe they split Britain into like 3 different time zones.
Wow.
So,
We now exist in our own like world of time and space. When we wanted to leave, we left hard.
I just realized
Yeah.
that like since we're all looking at the stream, 3 of the people looking at the stream are just us. So it's really only 3 except different people watching.
I mean, it's fine.
It's fine, but now I feel less popular.
Don't worry. Feelings mutual.
Alrighty.
Oh, the clock misleads.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started.
Radio.
Presentation time. Alright, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. How's it going, Pam?
So who's going to start the introductions?
I don't know, you can.
All right then. Well, hello everybody watching the stream. I am the Reese114. I am one of the programmers. Who's next?
yes, I am. Hello, everybody. My name is Hess, also one of the developers of the new Infinity Engine Plus.
Okay, and I am 31 Emmanuel. I am also a programmer slash bug squasher. I don't know what I do here. I just help out, man.
You're a QA tester.
And then you should all know who I am. I'm the FizzWiz team lead game designer, and I guess bug tester as well, because I sure as hell ain't a programmer like everyone else is.
You've done some good work.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll give you the coder pass. I'll give you the coder pass. Don't worry.
Okay. My much more technologically advanced coding friends say I'm okay, so it must mean something. Did not mean to do that. All right. So it's a Q&A dev stream. This is basically what's going to go. We've got a presentation we're going to go through. We're all going to go through the presentation. We're going to talk about it, share some details on the bullet points in the presentation. And then we have a Word document here that has a bunch of listed pre-made questions that we've collected that we're going to go through and answer. And then after that, we're going to take live questions. So should have plenty of time for everyone to come up with questions that they may
Yeah,
have.
there might be a few questions when we go through this slides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are probably going to come up with questions whenever we go through the slides. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. First thing we're going to go through is the changes that we've made since the vanilla Infinity Engine. All characters now share one single master class. We've added the bounce. We've added a new mechanic called the speed shift. A mechanic inspired by what was the thing?
Cosmic
again?
entry.
Yeah, it's Cosmic Entity. The pivot. We have elemental shields plus 2 brand new elemental shields. Wall jumping has been added. We've added a pods menu. There's a dynamic camera system set up in place. We have QuickTime events, path splining for level design, breakable walls, and ground enemies, as well as red rings and a unique goal and ranking system.
Yep.
So does
And then
anyone want to?
there's-
Yeah, and then there's a
Sorry,
bunch of.
just to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. There's a bunch of extra items here, such as bumpers, spring poles, switches, item box, item balloons, and bombs. So these are all things that are currently within Infinity Plus, and pretty much 90% functional.
Yeah, some details need ironing out on a few of the blueprints, but to be honest, everything's pretty much functioning.
Yeah, and they're
At the
fun to
most
use
part.
too.
Alright, so things like the bounce and the speed shift were created by myself, and the pivot was created by Emmanuel and I. We worked together on it.
Mm-hmm.
The wall jump was mine doing as well as the breakable walls. We've got the dynamic camera, the path splining, and the red rings and goal system, which I believe was you, Rise,
It
wasn't
was
it?
me. Yeah, it was me. Bumpers as well.
Yeah, and the bumpers. Spring poles, switches, item boxes, item balloons, and bombs. That was all you as well, wasn't it?
The boxes were. The rest was not me.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, pardon me.
I
It
don't
was
remember who did the
either
dynamic
me or-
camera.
It was me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was him.
I meant not dynamic camera. I meant quick time event. I'm sorry.
Hamish.
Oh yeah, no, that was mine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So the quick time event and the ground enemies were done by He's. Things like the speed shift and pivot were brand new abilities that we've kind of implemented to help expand Sonic's moveset to make level design for those who want to use the engine a bit more dynamic, you know.
Mm-hmm. Especially the speed
give
shift
people
was
options.
necessary.
Yeah, the speed shift is kind of necessary. Depending on how you want to go about doing shuttle loops, the speed shift is kind of a necessary ability. Yeah, you're kind of right on that one.
Yes, it is.
Was there anything about the Blueprint Masterclass you wanted to mention?
The way that we're trying to get the masterclass set up is it to be very modular for users. So, how we've got all these new abilities, we do have the option to turn some of them off and on right now. It's not fully 100% finished, but it should be, I think. Are we aiming to get that done for the release?
A lot of the basic abilities, yes. Things like
Yeah.
swapping between the pivots and the quick step. I think
Quick
that's
step.
need to be, you know, fine-tuned a
Yeah.
little bit, but for the most part, it's all functional. Things like the bounce and stomp.
Yeah, and the main reason we sorted this is we changed this to a masterclass blueprint is because the old code was always doubled up. If anybody's looked in the engine has seen, it was always doubled up for Sonic and Shadow. Now you only just need one. You just cast the master character, and both Sonic and Shadow will recognize it.
Yeah, because like
Yep.
anytime you wanted to change anything in Sonic and you wanted Shadow to have that thing, you basically had to copy-paste all the code from Sonic's blueprint to Shadow's. Now it's all under one, and now Sonic and Shadow obey one blueprint rather than their own separate ones. So
Hmm. And of course, it doesn't mean that they all share the same abilities. You can add your own to each character if you need to. They just, for the most part, everyone uses the same code
yeah,
for most things.
Yeah, we'll get more into it later on, I would say.
yeah, things like basic movement and jumping and basic abilities like that. Yeah, people, for the most part, most of the characters will follow that. So moving on to the next slide.
Yeah.
It's empty. Oh wait, no, it's not. Got characters.
It's animated. It's animated.
New characters that we have planned, such as Knuckles, Tails, and Whisper the Wolf from the IDW comics.
Yep.
These are characters that we are basically confirming that are going to be a part of the final release of the Infinity Engine, not necessarily the release that we're going to be releasing here soon.
Yeah. Needs way more time for us to get these characters ready for use.
So first things first, we're going to go over like Knuckles here. Knuckles, some upcoming and new abilities such as the glide, wall climbing, and a ground quake. These are just a couple abilities that we've come up with on top of our heads. We may end up adding
Yeah.
more and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. And then Tails.
We got Tails here, which is his basic abilities like flying, a tailspin attack, and something perhaps like a propeller dash.
Yeah, that's something we just came up with top of our heads again.
Knuckles and Tails are still very, very early in development because whenever we get to them, they're going to be pretty easy because for the most part, they're just Sonic minus a few abilities plus a few new ones.
Yeah. Easy swappable parts.
So those are very, very early on in development. We don't really have much to share about them. And then finally, we've got Whisper the Wolf.
The most iconic one.
Yeah,
Yes. Everybody knows about so far.
we've shared some details about Whisper, but a couple of details we've not shared are details about her Wispon. We're not going to be sharing a lot of details about her Wispon yet, because a lot of that stuff is still up in the air, but we do have a general idea of where we want to go with it.
Yeah.
Wisp switching, which is a mechanic that I'm sure if you took the name and you basically broke down the name by its definition, you could probably guess what that means, but we're not going to tell you. And then the grappling hook, which, not going to lie, I completely forgot about until like 2 days ago.
It's all right.
So we definitely don't have
around.
we don't have anything to share about this one, but it will be an ability that Whisper will have.
Yes.
Whisper will not be in the partial update that we're going to be releasing here soon. We're gonna make that clear. She is.
Yeah, all characters are final.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not popular enough yet.
Not popular enough.
She's not ready. She's nowhere near ready. So, kind of an unnecessary evil here, Wisps. I know a lot of people are conflicted about Wisps. Some people hate them, some people like them. But,
Yeah, we explained it on the slide coming up.
essentially, love them or hate them, for Wisps to function properly, we need to add Wisps. But why stop there? Characters will have the option to use color powers. All that is needed is to take a Boolean and boom unlimited color powers, meaning that it's not required, but it's optional and for your level design or your fan game. You don't have to add Wisps into your fan game if you don't wish, but it's completely there and will be finished if you so desire. This means that you don't need them at all, as they are option for other characters. So if you don't want to use them, then don't take the Boolean. So why did we specify other characters? Because Whisper, the character, is basically going to revolve around Wisp abilities.
It's kind of in her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you read the IDW comments, you kind of understand why we had to do this.
Because Whisper, in this case, is basically going to stand in for the Avatar character from Sonic Forces.
Yeah.
Because I don't think any of us wanted to take the time to create a completely customizable character.
Hell no.
I mean, how much are you paying? I'll do it.
No one's getting paid. I'm not paying any of you.
Oh, I'm Elton, but
Oh shit. Well, we've got an opening for a programmer now. No.
Hell yeah.
Including myself. I'm not getting paid for any of this either.
Yeah, nobody's getting paid. This is a labor of love.
So was there anything about Wisps or characters that anyone wanted to mention?
Yeah, if anybody has questions, just shoot them now, and we can get around to answering them. Like,
I have
for
my
the chat.
own opinion, which is that please stop putting on Modern Sonic games. But that's fine. We can put them in here. It's an option.
I'm sorry, I had to do it. Whisper demanded it.
Yeah. Honestly, I am excited to see what we're going to do with them in this engine, especially with Whisper, and be able to switch between them. That'll open up a lot of options and creativity.
Yep.
Oh yeah, definitely. Alright, so up next we've got enemies. This was kind of a slide we added last minute because enemies haven't been a huge focus for us, but it will be something we are working on. So we've got enemies like the Egg Pawn, the Egg Flapper currently, Spinners, which I believe are still a slight work in progress, Iblis Flyers, which was misspelled, but I'll
From
pass that.
everyone's favorite Sonic
I
game.
was rushing that, sorry, I just noticed that. The Iblis Fleers.
Fleers.
Iblis Fleers.
Hell yeah. There are subspecies you don't know about. They only showed up in the Archie comics in like this one tiny panel.
We gotta go stop the Iblis Trigger. There are more enemies planned in the future.
Yeah, these are the ones that are included.
Yeah,
for the most part.
enemies in the future are including brand new enemies that we have come up with. Yes, sure, no, it's misspelled.
You're putting our own OCs in this one.
Yes, we have
Cold Steel the Hedgehog.
Cold Steel the Hedgehog.
Red the Hedgehog.
Yep, completely.
We have
unique
Vegeta from
enemies.
Dragon Ball Z.
So, yep. I've already come up with a couple of enemy designs that we've not started working on yet because we have to finalize their designs yet and what their primary purpose will be. But on top of original enemies that we're coming up with will be a couple of other mainstay enemies. Like, I know Sam and Adams have already created, well, not necessarily created, but they've implemented the Gun Trooper. That will be an enemy that we're going to be adding in.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're iconic. I think the Motobug is also like iconic too. And the Buzzbot, the B one,
The Buzz Bomber.
Buzz Bomber, yeah.
Yeah, the Buzz Bombers. We have Motobugs in it. It's not done, but it's
Yeah,
it's in the engine. It's not finished.
yeah, they're not functioning right now.
So
Just
yeah.
expect like
Gas.
all different kind of things.
We like, if you are a part of my Discord, we are, you know, like taking suggestions for things like enemies like that. If you do suggest an enemy to us, that does not mean that we are for a fact going to be using it, but we are taking suggestions in the Discord if anyone wants to like spew out a random obscure and Sonic enemy from Sonic's history.
Do mind though, if it's an enemy that's not appeared in a 3D game, we would have to make the model.
Yeah, if it's an enemy that's not in the 3D game, not only would we have to make the model, but we'd have to completely transition their abilities into 3D.
Yep.
Yeah, or from like alternative media like Scratch and Grounder.
Oh,
Grounder?
We're not
I think
adding
I pronounced
Scratch and
it right.
Grounder.
Yeah, no.
I don't want that
All I do
robot
is
to do
just
that.
I was tempted to do like a Scratch voice, but I think I would make
Don't.
everyone go deaf.
Nope.
So
Yeah,
I'll
no, we
do
want
it.
to keep the 8 viewers we have here, please.
Yes, let's not dawdle.
8 minus the 3 people who are already watching it in this stream.
Yeah.
We don't include those.
Oh yeah, okay.
All right, so moving on, we've got engine tutorials. We will be releasing videos on YouTube that will act as tutorials for very basic things in the engine. As we get further on in development and we release another partial update or two, we are going to be making more advanced tutorials for anything custom that people will want to be doing. These two are here that we are going to be releasing, such as how to use a character master blueprints and a basic enemy tutorial. These here will be released along with, at some point in time, I don't know if we're going to be releasing them alongside with the partial update, but they will be released before the update after that.
Yeah, it's still we're still debating when we're going to be releasing these tutorials, but just know they will happen because I know that there'll be some things and new features that we've added that people might have questions for. So the idea is just to make these tutorials so people can just watch them and learn.
Yeah, because like the idea is there's going to be people who's going to pick up the Infinity Engine Plus, and they're going to look at that and they'll be like, oh, I know how to unuse Unreal. Let me just, do whatever the hell I want to do. And then there's going to people who's going to pick up Infinity Plus and not know a damn thing about Unreal. So
Like me.
Wait, you're a coder. What are you doing here?
oh, no.
Oh shit, they found out.
Wait, don't tell people we don't know what we're doing. Shh, get that quiet.
Oh yeah, okay. Mouth is shut.
So yeah, basically the tutorials will cover both advanced things and very basic things.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, the next slide actually goes on about what we've just talked about.
Yeah, basically, the engine will be short 5 to 10 minute videos on YouTube. Some of the new content in the engine might be a little complicated for some users, so we aim to try and help out the users with these videos going over the new content. Both advanced users and beginner users, you will most likely find something to learn in these tutorials, because we'll probably go into them extensively, and there's probably going to be more than one tutorial covering the same.
Yeah, because if we do an update later on, maybe I might have to do a revival for the master character tutorial. So we'd make sure to keep stuff up to date.
Yep. So look out for that.
So we got what lies ahead.
Alright, so what lies ahead besides everything, basically everything that you've seen up until now, for the most part, will be, except for the characters, those are going to be in the partial update that we'll be releasing here soon. Here's the things that we are going to be planning on adding in the future. Things such as wall running, 2D sections, super transformations, a 1-up system if you decide to put a life system in your fan game. The final release will have a demo level, and I think that's pretty much it.
Yes.
And of course, these are just features. We can also this does not include also like bug fixes and changes that will make the game more enjoyable and stuff like that.
Yeah, and this, just because we put it here doesn't mean this is all we have planned. There are definitely going to be more things besides just these 5 bullet points.
Yeah, those were just some of the major ones.
Yeah.
For sure to not spoil a lot of the things we've been working on.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Should I mention the thing I'm working on? The small changes?
I know you've got to get going relatively soon, so you could probably mention them whenever we're done with the slides here. We're almost done.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 3 slides.
Okay.
It's only 2 slides at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. So moving on, we've got something new that called plus packs. Now, this is basically something that we're still up in the air about. We've not decided 100% whether we're doing this or not, but we are pretty sure we're going ahead with it. But I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to Rice because he's the one that has come up with this.
Yeah, this is my territory. So basically, I know whenever I've seen people make fan games that they've always wanted certain characters and stuff. Like Mighty the Armadillo is normally a really high pick to add to a fan game and such. And I know that probably some people would want to use Silver as well because he's another popular character. But I've mainly came up with this concept because we want to spend more time working on the engine and making sure that it is the best it can be. By the way, are you on the next slide? Because the next slide is basically just going over what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Might as well just keep that open. So obviously, like, characters take a hell of a lot more time to code and get functioning than just any kind of level gimmick or mechanic. One of the major examples is Silver's telekinesis. That would, if we were going to aim for what it was in 06, it would take a hell of a lot of time to code. So my idea is to release official with quotation marks, like add-on packs you can download and then just apply to your project, and it will add the character's code, mesh and animations and stuff, and then you can just mess around with the character afterwards, tweak it to your heart's desire.
It's like free DLC.
Yeah, in a way you can imagine it as DLC, yeah. But it's just, the idea with this is just to help add more content over time after we're done. But it won't be forever. We can't do this forever. So there's a very finite amount of characters that, if this is going to go ahead with that, we would add. So do we want to ask people if they want to vote for characters or something like that?
Yeah, we may end up doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just later online anyway. We could figure it out.
Yeah. The 3 that were shown off in the previous slide are some of the more solid confirmed ones for this kind of idea, but if anybody else has any like really requested characters, submit it to us and we'll take a look, because we can't do a bunch of these because that's just impossible. So we would only probably do maybe about like 2 or 3 more. I'm not sure. It's all in the air right now, so get back to us on that one.
So yeah, like, essentially the basic idea is, like someone had said, they're basically like free DLC packs. Like, you may ask yourself, well, why would I want to go for one of these plus packs versus like a character pack that someone else might have created? Well, essentially my team and I, we know the ins and outs of the Infinity Engine. We know how everything works. We know how everything flows together and works as a singular unit. So characters that we will be creating will be created with the sole purpose and designed around the Infinity Engine. Characters that will be releasing the Plus Pack will probably be a lot more stable and a lot more finished, and will most likely be less bug-filled, as we'll have to design them around the mini mechanics of the Infinity Plus engine.
Essentially, the plus packs get the Fizzwidth stack like seal of approval, and everything else is just like, I don't know. I'm light on cash. I'll get this for only $2 versus our stuff is premium.
Yeah. So
If
you know.
anybody's going to be telling
We're
us-
professionals. Don't worry.
It's a great analogy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We wouldn't know how we would distribute them yet either. That's something that we haven't talked about. But again, this will be something we sort out way later on. This is like final release content, really. This is just to tease you guys.
I thought we were just gonna like mail out USB sticks to people.
Oh yeah, that would be it. And we'll just add free virus.
Oh no! I actually sent it with all of my Big the Cat R34. Oh no!
Oh no!
Hey, on the plus side, I still got Silver the Hedgehog, but I also have ransomware. I see that's an absolute win, honestly.
Sure, why not? I mean, if you're chaotic evil, sure.
Chaotic evil.
So yeah, like he said, basically they get my Fizzwiz stamp of approval as lead game designer. So I think for the most part that's it for the presentation. I think that's pretty much all we've got to covered. So real quick, Emmanuel's going to mention a couple things that he's working on that he didn't get finished in time to add to this presentation. I'm going to go ahead and let him do that because he's not going to be able to stick around for the entire thing because he's got work. So what did you have, Emmanuel?
Yeah. Let's see. So first of all, I just want to mention that these changes are not set in stone. These are just things I've been working on. I haven't added them to the actual project yet for everyone to test. But I just thought these will be good changes to give players an option in terms of movement and control, and make it tailored to how some people want to play, especially towards the speed shift and how it is turned on by speed instead of being toggled or turned on when necessary. That's addressed in a way, so that should be the gameplay should be more consistent. You control the character how you normally would for the most part, unless the speed shift is necessary, which is normally when you're on a ramp or when you're going in a loop-de-loop. Let's see, there's also a few camera changes that I think for the most part people will enjoy, and there will be some options in terms of how it will be handled. You could turn off some features, and it shouldn't be too railroady. That's one thing I definitely want to avoid. The camera won't just turn wherever it's necessary. It should allow you to look around and see where you're going, while also running in a certain direction. And on top of that, there are a few minor bug fixes. One also deals with the water. When you run into the water in the game currently while you're boosting, it just turns it off. That's addressed. Camera issues in terms of running to the dash pad. It turns where the dash pad's facing. That's just an example of some of the changes that are added. But for the most part, if I were to summarize this ramble I'm trying to do, these changes should hopefully make going up and down all around much easier and allow you to look around while doing so too.
Great analogy.
So yeah, a lot of those changes are very last minute. Like, we still got to bug test them. We've not decided whether or not they're going to be implemented into the next update, but they were basically added on quick enough for us to actually bug test them. So once the bug testing is done, we'll have an answer for you in that one. So we're gonna move on to a Q&A section. Basically, these are questions that we have picked up from people in my Discord and a few other locations. We're going to go over these here first, and then we're going to go over any live questions from anyone in chat. So the very first question we've got is a release date, which was asked by NECA. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We've not confirmed an exact release date, but our first partial release is slated for the middle of next month. So around the middle of July is whenever we're going to try and get this partial update out. That's not set in stone. It can change, but this is what we'd like to aim for. As for the official entire release, we're going to try and aim for spring of next year or so.
It's possible, yeah, we could probably get it for then. But again, it's all up in the air.
Yeah. Because we constantly work on things, we make a lot of progress, and we're like, yeah, we're doing good, and then we look at our to-do list, and we're like, oh, we've got more.
Oh, yeah, right.
Never ends.
And of course, something may be broken or may readdress issues or tweak some things, and that takes time. It's usually not foreseen.
Yeah. So it's just it's a lot of time-consuming things that we're hoping to try and get it done as fast as we can, but at the same time, we want to make sure it is of high enough quality.
Yeah, we can't just go fast like Sonic and just do everything perfectly. Only he can do that. Sega can't even do it. Just look at Sonic 06.
All right. Next question was about music, original or remix, which was asked by Black Spidey. I mentioned this in my Discord, but Sonic Infinity Plus is not a fan game. When it comes to things like music and level design and things like that, we're not making a fan game here. We're not creating like levels. We're not doing a bunch of stuff like that. We will be creating one singular demo level for the official final release, but we're not going to go into any further detail about that, and that itself will have its own custom song. But outside of that, we're not musicians. The most we're going to be doing, well, yeah, some of us might be musicians, I don't know, but for the most part, all we're really doing in terms of the music department is sound design. Like, we're not going to be like adding any individual pieces from Sonic history and music. We're not going to be doing that.
Yeah, it's just general sound effects that you would hear in pretty much all Sonic games. Yeah.
So if you're hoping like in-depth music, no, we'll probably have like a tutorial or two about how to add music into your level, but we're not going to be like including individual sound pieces because there are so many different types of music throughout Sonic's history. Some remixes, some original pieces that we couldn't possibly include everything that people want. So it's just a by user basis. Yeah. Was there anyone else who wanted to comment on that?
No, not really. We're making an engine. We're giving you the tools to do what you need to do. If you want to add a music piece, go right ahead. If you want to convince somebody to do it, go right ahead. But we're trying to give you the tools, not everything.
We're not trying to do it for you. We're giving you the tools so you can do it.
Unless you have money, then maybe.
Wow, that's all you've been saying.
All right.
Yeah, sounds is like we said. Just expect sound effects. That's all we're adding.
The next question was chain homing attack from Lost World and changes to its mechanics. We're going to be adding a few tutorials talking about the homing attack because there are a lot of variables and turn-ons and turn-offs about the homing attack that can be changed that will tell you how to change. But as for a chain homing attack from Lost World, we've not had any plans for that, but we may make it as an option, but it will definitely not be set to defaults.
Yeah, and it won't be the same way it was in Lost World because, well, maybe, but the way it's kind of implemented in the game is kind of slapdash, honestly.
Because this question was asked by Minty, because it was during his stream. He mentioned about the chain homing attack, and he mentioned just like ways to change it. I can't remember off the top of my head what he mentioned, but it wasn't exactly 100% the chain homing attack from Lost World. It was like an alteration of it, he said. But I just wrote down chain homing attack.
So
okay,
yeah, basically we may make it as an option, but it won't be default, and essentially we'd have to see how it goes and how it works out with everything else. If we feel like it's a good, decent fit for everything, then yeah, we'll go ahead and fit it. But if it's kind of counterintuitive to how everything in the engine works, then we may end up deciding against it.
I may have a few ideas, but that's way down the road for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as for any other changes to its mechanics, throughout Sonic's history, ever since the homing attack was created, there have been so many different variations. Ones where Sonic keeps its speed, ones where Sonic gets flung forward rather than upward. Things where, the range of his homing attack is different in different games, things like that. A lot of that are individual floats and booleans and integers that you can change in the engine and customize yourself, which is completely optional. And like we said, we'll have that stuff in the tutorial.
Okay.
The next question was the trick system asked by Minty as well, and this is talking about the trick system from
Rush.
Sonic Rush. We've never considered it, but It is possible. I wouldn't consider that a high priority, but if everyone really wants a trick system from Sonic Rush, then we could add it. That's kind of just a thing. If everyone wants it, then sure, but if not, we may end up adding it if it flows well.
Yeah, Kindred did make a document like a few months ago when he joined the project, and it mentioned something about trick system, but I don't know. I imagine he has a few ideas about
I
it.
remember that now. That was ages ago.
Yeah, it was interesting, but we haven't really considered that seriously in terms of like adding it to the project. But you know, we can be flexible. We'll consider it at least.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, if we did add it, it probably would not be a priority. It probably wouldn't be until a much later build of the engine. But yeah, we'll keep it in mind. Next question was menu, pause menus, and game over screens. Those are going to be added into the engine, obviously. But there wasn't really much detail in the question, so we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of detail in the question ourselves. By the way, this was asked by Minty on the Discord. We're going to have pre-made themes for menus, pause menus, and game over screens. They're all going to be based on past Sonic games. There's going to be like a Generations, Unleashed, and Sonic Mania themes. For both menu, pause menus, and game over screens, there's going to be different themes, as well as a few custom themes we'll be making ourselves. So whenever you make your fan game, if you want to create your own theme, you can do that. You can just basically use the system we'll put in place and replace it with your themes, or you can use pre-created themes that we're going to be including in the engine.
Yep. For now, the pause menu is actually in. The other two are not, but that's for later on.
So yeah, hope that answers that question.
Okay.
And the, the final question we have listed as we won't answer, but I'm going to go ahead and mention it again. Lideck asked what we're going to do about level design. Like I said, and like we've said multiple times, this is not a fan game. We're not making levels. But what we will be doing is we will be adding tools such as the ground spline system, which will be used for level design.
Morgen moet ik om 12 uur weg. Nee?
Yeah.
Alright, so sorry, I'm back on the stream now. I'm actually looking at what the stream said.
Yeah, I've been reading the chat while you've been talking as well. So
I can stay for a few more. I can stay for a few more minutes for us to go, so I can help with the questions for a bit.
Vandaag een van die moeders. Ze werkt 5 minuten van hier.
So hi Minty. Yes, we are live. We've been live for about 15 minutes now.
Beetje technisch achtergrond.
Alright, give me a second.
Ik weet. Gewoon 5 minuten moet ik iets van hier. Baarknopjes, baardingen.
Alright, I'm gonna mute him for a moment.
Yeah, mute him and I'll keep him unmuted. I'll let you know when he's busy.
So yeah, that's basically it for the pre-assigned questions. Everyone in chat, you're more than welcome to ask any questions right now that you have. I'm sure there's things that you've seen in the slides that you may have questions about, you know.
Yeah, feel free to ask anything.
This is a Q&A stream. We want your input. And we've given you plenty of stuff to talk about. Hopefully,
please. We just want to talk to people.
We're so lonely over here.
Yep.
All we do is talk to each other.
I keep everyone locked away in a dungeon.
Yeah, all I see are blueprints every day.
Yeah.
If someone
so branches,
particle effects, and I'm already crying.
Please, no more branches, please.
If someone does a good job, I'll give them a cupcake. But that's pretty much it.
I haven't seen one in so long.
Alright, so yeah, we're taking free questions now. We'll be on for another 15 minutes or so.
Are we gonna show off the...
Yes, we can do that, actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, might as well.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the engine.
Yeah. Are you not busy anymore, Hamish?
Let's go ahead and remove that, put this over here.
Hamish? I think he's done.
Oh, he's done?
No, he's you can unmute him now.
Oh.
Alright.
We had to mute you.
You had to be quarantined. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's fine. We didn't get infected yet.
Alright, so we're gonna go and play a little bit of the engine itself while we're waiting for any questions.
Yes.
Show
Come on,
off,
guys.
show off some of the features we have live.
Come on, guys. We don't get pay. Oh, no, sorry, not pay. We don't get food. We get questions.
For every question, everyone gets one cupcake.
Yes, I want my cupcake.
please.
Give us questions, and the questions can't be about our cupcakes. Just waiting for somebody to ask, "What's your cupcake gonna be? Is it gonna be vanilla flavor?" No, I'm having a lime.
A lime cupcake?
Yes.
Oh, gross, man.
Oh, thank you.
What everyone doesn't know is I put vinegar in their cupcakes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Well, if I put some salt and some chips on that, I'm fine with it. Put a fish on there too.
Damn. Damn Englanders.
The British.
Damn
I'm too British.
It's too British, sir. What do we do?
Oh no. The British levels are through the roof, sir.
We must dump the tea into the ocean. It's the only way to defeat them.
Wow. Now that is an old reference.
Everyone knows that tea is basically their fuel. Everyone dump it into the ocean.
Oh no, it backfired. Not the entire ocean is their tea.
Oh no.
Oh damn. You've just empowered us.
All of the fish are now British.
Oh my god.
The sun truly never sets on the British Empire.
Yes, they're just the grow mustaches and monocles. Yes, monocles are now part of your body.
I
What
do say,
happens?
sir.
Yes, and they all get the thick Cockney accent.
I could really go for some spotted fish right now. Would you mind jumping into my mouth?
Isn't that cannibalism?
As being
Now
a
you're
shark.
British?
Oh,
As a shark.
that's fine.
I want to see a British octopus now. With a cane.
I've seen that before.
We're gonna
I've
make
seen
it a character
on
now.
Vikings. No, Aussies.
We're gonna call him Octi the I don't know.
It would just be Octi the
It'd just be-
octopus.
How about just Doc Ock? Make it Spider-Man.
Doc got confirmed for Infinity Plus.
Next
Yes.
to John Cena and Shrek.
He just T-poses everywhere.
We've got Team Meme. We failed to mention to you guys we're adding teams, and the first team is Team Meme.
It'd be Team Beam. We got Shrek, John Cena, and Doc Ock. It's all power characters.
All
Yeah.
power.
There's no speed or tech or flying characters. They're all power characters.
Oof, engine taking some time, innit?
Well,
Yes.
it probably wouldn't if every single time I opened it, it has to load new things.
Sorry. I just made some slight changes, that's all. Just some foundational changes.
How much did you do?
Nothing. It's just booleans, I swear.
Booleans are too powerful.
Oh no.
Every time you add a boolean, man, it just
A star
drags
goes
the
out.
engine. Oof. The universe should be black by now.
I've noticed that my mother is watching. Because she
Oh.
just texted me. She texted me, "Oh, bloody hell."
She's a good mom for watching your stream.
Yeah, hello,
Yes.
mother. How's it going?
Got a British person over here.
Ahem. Hey, Nika, how's it going? Literally infinite
Infinity
engine.
Engine.
Oh yeah, I've just realised the chat for me is behind, so I don't know if anybody's done anything yet.
Will Shadow
Why
have a
don't we just-
gun? He'll have
Shadow
7.
gun.
Maybe. Perhaps.
He'll have.
Oh yes,
He'll have 7 guns. They'll be called the Infinity Guns.
it's basically how he uses the wisps.
He's gonna be like Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. He just calls them up.
Oh yes. We're gonna add an alternate costume for him where he's literally just Noctis.
All right.
If you want more guns, just download more RAM.
Yeah. Go to a shady website and download
Where's that
some
damn
more.
7 gigabyte?
All right, so I think the engine is still starting up because a lot of the
Yeah,
shades and the shadows.
It's literally
You can see the
burning.
compiling. You can see the compiling.
Everything is
shit.
actually on fire.
If you guys listen closely, you can hear my computer smoke.
Yeah, you can see the on fire assets in the background. Forgot about those.
That right there's my computer right now.
That's a visual representation.
All right, so let's see if it's gonna start up or if it's gonna die. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, once the shaders are done, it should be fine.
And it doesn't say it's compiling shaders, but it's very clearly still compiling
Top
shaders.
left. It
Oh,
says
I think
shaders compiling.
it's good now. Just try playing it.
Oh,
It seems
shade-
smoother now.
Shaders compiling
Yeah.
8. Okay, I see it. Sonic Wildfire. Yeah, that's what it is now.
Sonic is now a firefighter.
Wonder if we officially release the Infinity Plus engine. Whenever you turn it on, everything just bursts into flames.
Yeah, that's
including your computer.
our secret surprise.
I know you guys can't hear the stream right now, but I've turned on some background music, and currently Crisis City is playing in the background.
Oh, that's perfect.
The whole engine's on fire.
Engine's on fire. Crisis engine.
That was a fan
God.
engine, wasn't it? Wasn't the
Probably.
Crisis engine
It
a fan?
was. No, isn't Crisis engine actually just? It's an actual engine, man.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that's
it
what we're
is.
using for Star
Yeah, it's an actual engine that gets it's used in some game. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's mainly an
It's a
FPS.
slight- Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, isn't it? Yeah, because Crisis. Can your computer run Crisis? The meme. That was it.
Alright, it's still wanting to compile shaders for some reason.
No, really?
Oh, there we
Can
go.
you just not?
Hey.
Now it's done. Everything doesn't look like it's
You have to do this every time you want to play the game, by the way, viewers. Just letting you know.
every single
It's got to
time.
compile like 5,000 shaders.
Yeah.
Alright, so here
Even
we
once
go.
really. Hey.
So if you've been keeping up with my Discord and been getting the screenshot Saturdays but on Fridays, you've probably already know a lot of these things, but to just see it more in action. Got the
So first of all,
Eggmans
there's
here.
Sonic.
Yep,
I know,
there's
big surprise.
Oh, you'll have to show them how easy the character switch is.
We
I'm
can do
not-
that when we exit out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move the Project to Cry engine.
Oh no, you guys, do you not remember? Secretly, we're porting this to Roblox.
Yep, that's what it is. Infinity
This is
engine
secretly-
on Roblox.
Yeah, this
I'm
is
trying-
actually Roblox right now. That's why it took forever to load.
And then after that, we're going to move over to a Samsung Smart Fridge. It's going to be awesome.
Oh hell yeah! You can put
Alright.
Infinity Engine on your fridge.
Okay. I think I should probably go now. If you haven't,
Oh, okay.
you want to show off the pivot really quick and just like, if anybody has any questions,
Alright.
I can answer them, but I'm going to have to go in like a minute.
So yeah, we've got the pivot right here. Allows you to turn. Oh. Allows you to
I just
turn wherever you wish.
It is a bit off because of the animation, because we haven't added any, but I'm sure once that's fixed, it should like work 100%. Right now it's at 90%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
it
also probably
functions.
gonna add like a projection arrow to show you where you're gonna actually go.
Yeah, I actually wanted to do that, but I think for now, Raycast just forward would be good enough, just to give you an idea.
Yeah, probably for now.
Yeah.
As
I
you
remember-
probably noticed, doing that actually drained my boost because the longer you hold, the more your boost is gonna drain.
Oh, when you can you go up that really steep hill or ramp or whatever and try to do it there?
Yeah.
Because I added in a little safeguard because Pivot doesn't like being at a steep angle, and I figured that if you try doing it on something too steep, it shouldn't do it. So it should play a little sound and just not allow you to do it.
Can the slow motion be toggled on and off with the pivot? Probably not, because the idea of the pivot is you need to be able to tell where you're gonna go. If
Try on like the really big
say-
steep hill.
oh, you mean like the
Yeah, the giant thing that goes up into the sky, because that's where it's going to turn off. Pivot can handle like hills, but just not. Yeah, if you're like vertical, it's not going to work.
yeah.
It's a horizontal movement tool.
Makes
Um,
sense.
We may end up making the slow motion toggleable if people really, really want it, because you know, obviously people are just gonna do whatever they want. But for now, it's set to not toggleable, because the idea of the pivot is you're gonna want to be using this move at high speed.
Yeah,
So
you don't want to get blindsided while using it normally.
Here's a minor bug. I don't think you guys are going to come across it, but we're coming across it because of the fact that we're using a sharing system on GitHub. But the rings duplicate. Occasionally you'll have rings that just duplicate on themselves, so you'll get this. So this isn't one ring.
Don't complain, you get more rings.
This isn't one ring, this is 10 rings.
I think I know why that happened. I just need to look into it more.
Okay, I'm gonna head out now.
Yeah.
Good luck on all the streaming stuff, and I'll see you guys later.
Alright, thanks for joining
Thanks for
us.
showing first stream, guys.
See you later.
Alright.
And then there was free.
Yep. So, a couple other things that we've added here. Let's go ahead and show off the dynamic camera.
Oh yes, dynamic character. Dynamic camera was fun.
So for those who are watching the stream, you watched I let go of the mouse, which is the primary camera movement. Because we have action trigger boxes that will now do specific things with the camera. You can tell them to either... Okay, that was fun. You can either tell them to follow Sonic from behind, or you can tell them to just watch Sonic from a set location. Like so. So dynamic cameras. Say again.
I just saw what you did there where you ran underneath the platform.
Yeah. That's a sticking to ground issue. Sonic just
wants
to do things like that.
Those are the spline paths. Just for anybody who's wondering.
Yes, these here are spline pathing. They're basically terrain that you can, you know, spline in any direction that you want. There's a minor bug with them, but for the most part, they're functional.
Yeah. I don't like splines.
There's another example of the thing. And I believe this one here has the one where the camera follows you. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, for the quadruple loop.
Very difficult to use. I just got myself stuck.
Is it the quadruple loop because the thing's behind?
The quadruple loop's very difficult to do.
Yeah. Again, that camera is still slightly work in progress. Obviously, it's working. It sticks you behind, but the controls get a little messed up when you're upside down. So you got to make sure you're like dead straight on and do not touch left or right if you want to go through them at the moment. But hopefully that should get fixed.
So here's a couple of things we've not mentioned, but these are bombs. We've included these. These here will be in the partial update. Got bombs. We also got this bomb that doesn't actually go off. It's just another spike type.
Yeah, forgot to mention it. You can toggle between those if you want.
Yeah.
To actually be a spike or a bomb.
So we also got the pulley system, which is very much a work in progress, as you can see.
The zip line.
The zip line.
Yeah, if we can get it done as partial release, it will be in, but it's one of the things that might not be.
Yeah. So here's a couple of things that we've not actually shown off yet, but I'm probably going to add them as... It's a problem for those paths is they can't go upside down. They can go upside down, actually. It's just very difficult. Like, for example, I've created this over here. There's a spline corkscrew. This was a pain in the ass to make, but I made it. And it technically works.
Yeah, splines are just really, really finicky things in Unreal I've came across. Actually, everybody else, they work fine, but whenever I've worked with them, they always...
Does the pivot work when you're upside down? Yeah, I don't believe it does, because there is... Yeah. There's an angle checker, yeah, like you said. So essentially the angle checker will say, hey, are you within this angle range? No? Okay, you can't do it. So here's a couple of things that we've not shown off in the Screenshot Saturday, mainly because it's, for the most part, been unfunctional up until recently. We have item boxes that are pretty much functional. Almost. They're not complete, but they are, for the most part, functional.
Yeah, they just need a little polishing here and there and a few extra details.
Alright, I'm not going to show off the speed shoes yet, because there's actually a specific thing I want to show off with it.
Hmm.
Here's the invincibility. And this does actually work.
Yeah, do note that the invincibility particle effect may change. We're waiting on a particle.
Most likely it'll work.
Yeah.
Alright, so here's a couple of things we're going to show off are the item boxes. These are still in a work in progress, meaning that their functionality is not complete. So first things first, we're going to go over the electric bubble. Ideally, whenever this is complete, it will attract rings from a longer distance to you, but it doesn't currently work.
It used to, but I had to change it because we were getting some bugs with the rings.
Yeah. So they all currently do take a hit for you. That's one thing they do actually currently do, is they will all take a hit for you. Here's the water bubble. You can't currently bounce with it. That's a regular bounce. But here you can breathe underwater with it. As expected. You can also jump higher underwater with it, can't you?
No, I don't think that's actually coded, but...
Okay, I think that's just a default thing. I think that's just a default thing. So, yep.
Yeah.
Takes the hit for you. Here's the fire shield.
And now it literally does nothing.
They look pretty cool. You plan on making capsule versions and stuff as well? Yes. That's something that's on the checklist. That probably won't be in the partial update. Depending on how difficult it is to swap it, it may be, it may not be. But yes, we are planning on making capsule versions of these.
Oh, that shouldn't be too difficult at all, really.
The fire version, yeah, this fire shield is basically just as functional as the electric shield. Both the electric shield and fire shield should go out whenever you're underwater, but currently it does not.
Oh god, yeah, I forgot to fix that. That did used to happen.
I don't think this fire is functional over here, is it?
No. Yeah, the fire's just...
It's just for show. It doesn't actually do anything. So this flame shield doesn't actually protect you from fire currently.
But that will be something it does.
If the electric shield attracts rings to Sonic, will that mess up the light speed dash? We're probably going to find a workaround. It probably would mess it up, but we're going to find a workaround to fix that.
I tested that out before. It does slightly make it more difficult, but you can still actually light speed dash when you have the electric shield. I've done it loads of times. It's just you have to like immediately start it before the rings start coming towards you. It just makes it more difficult, but yeah, it needs working on.
Yeah, which is why it's not functional in this build right now currently. Here's the regular shield. It's just a regular ass shield. You know, it does shieldy things.
Which one was the regular shield?
It was the green one, wasn't it?
No, the green one's the yellow one was the regular.
I thought the yellow one was the electric shield.
No, the yellow one is the normal shield, the white one is the electric shield.
Alright, well, it's very clear how caught up to date on this I am. Oh, hey, look at that. I just noticed the textures you were posting the other day.
Oh, yeah. My amazing placeholder textures, everyone. They should not be in the release.
Light dash exclusive rings? Yeah, that could be an option. We could also add a trigger box that prevents the electric shield from working whenever, like, you want a player to do a light speed dash. And the player enters a trigger box, it will disable the lights, Oop, well, that's a bug. But that was to be expected. I know it's causing that bug.
I'm waiting on the stream.
So yeah, you're probably gonna see it. This is the air shield apparently.
Oh, I see the bug.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah.
Didn't mean to do that, but whatever.
Okay, so the green one's the air shield, the white one's the lightning, the yellow one was normal.
Alright, so... Well, we're probably gonna have to talk about those conventions later.
Yeah. Everything's placeholder for that.
I'm very clearly messing everything up. This is the ice shield, isn't it? The bright blue one?
The bright blue one is the ice shield, yes. The air and the ice are obviously the two new.
Yep, so the ice shield will allow you to walk on water, as well as preventing the ice-based damage. It's currently functional, actually, as you can see.
Yeah, the ice one I at least got functioning.
The ice shield will allow you to walk on top of water. We will probably add a function that lets you go under the water even with an ice shield. Like if you require a player to go underwater with the ice shield. This is the electric shield, apparently. I wasn't aware of.
Yep.
But essentially... Go ahead.
I was just saying, we're working on the particle effects for it. That's one of the next things for these shields. So you'll be able to easily tell which one's which.
When Sonic stomps, is he locked into it until he hits the floor? Technically, yes, he is. There is no way to cancel it. The only way to cancel it is if you collide with an enemy, or if you collide with an object. So, like, if I bounce, and I bounce onto the spring, and I get off the spring, it's not going to bounce me again. So if I bounce on the spring and then land, it's not going to send me into the air again. But if I just bounce regularly in midair, obviously it's going to do it. I'm pretty sure I did this for... Yeah. Same thing goes for, like, the bumpers. If I bounce on a bumper, it's not going to make me bounce again. That's really cool. These give some level design ideas. Yeah, it is. We've decided, like, the ice shield and the air shield are two unique shields that we came up with. I meant to talk about the air shield, but I accidentally messed it up. But it doesn't matter. The air shield's not currently functional. The air shield will allow you to actually jump higher. And
yeah, it's.
I think.
What we come up with.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we've come up with. We've not confirmed this yet, but supposedly the air shield will also prevent you from, like, get blown away from air currents. Like, if you want to add air currents into your level, we may make it to where air shields will prevent that.
Yeah, that's another thing we need to think about. But yeah, say like if you've got a level where you have a big flying ship or something, you could add some wind volumes for some cool level design.
So yeah,
and use the air shield to your content.
What the hell? All right. I don't know what that is. Apparently Razor's updating, even though I didn't tell it to. Which shields do you have right now? Oh, never mind. Yeah, we have every single shield currently. Not all of them are functional. The only functioning ones are the bubble shield and the ice shield currently. And the basic shield. All of them will take a hit for you. So apparently the yellow one is the basic shield, which we're going to have to talk about these color conventions. I don't think this is going to be normal. I thought the green shield was going to be regular because, you know...
It's normally the green one.
Like, in most 3D Sonic games, a regular shield is green, so... so apparently, the yellow shield's the regular, the blue shield is the bubble shield. Red one's fire. White one is electric, apparently.
Yep.
The green one is the air shield.
Yep.
And the light blue one is the ice shield.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, the air shield will actually is supposed to give you... What the hell's going on? Something weird's going on with my post-processing. Let's restart that. That's better. The air shield is going to give you a higher base jump, a higher double jump, and may make you... You saving the stream? Yes, I will be uploading this on YouTube tomorrow. I have to wait till tomorrow because... Due to the rules of Twitch, I am a Twitch affiliate, and if I try to upload this immediately, Twitch will get mad at me. But you can view this on my Twitch channel. So yeah. Another thing I'm going to go ahead and show off. We've got breakable walls here. There are 3 different types of breakable walls. The one I just ran through was the easy wall. This here is the medium wall, and the other one's the difficult wall. You can actually type in the specific speed that Sonic has to be going to actually break through the wall. Like, I can't simply just dash into this wall and break it. I have to build up speed first, which we really need to change where we put these walls.
Yeah, they used to be in an okay area, but there's an extra things added.
Yeah. Breakable walls. Yeah, breakable walls is something I added way back when, and I completely forgot about them. So, yeah, this wall is an extremely difficult wall. You basically have to be hitting max speed to break it. Can the double jump be toggled? Yes, the double jump will be toggleable, as is the we have the drop dash. The drop dash is on, but it's currently toggled off right now. Here's a couple of things. We've got the bumpers. Boop. You can change how far the bumpers send you off, like so.
Yeah. The visual for the bumper does need a tweaking. The mesh is a bit shrunk than it's normally meant to be.
Yeah, a couple of
so
things
the
are
bumpers will be a tad bigger. Yeah, the bumpers should be a little bit bigger.
So should the balloons. If you looked back at the balloons, they're actually smaller than they're supposed to be. I don't know why, but they are.
I think I know why.
We've got spring poles. They basically function as they were intended in the Advanced series. Depending on where you're at on the pole, will send you higher. So the further out in the pole you are, the higher you'll be sent. Will you add breakable walls for stomping? Technically, yes, the breakable walls do work for stomping. It's actually a bug that we have. The way the breakable walls work currently is it's just a simple collision check. It's not checking what part of you it's colliding with. So, yeah, if you put a breakable wall as a floor, you can stomp and break it, as long as you put the speed requirement to be accurate. It will break. But that also means if you run across it at the proper speed, it will also break. Currently, which is not intended.
Hey, you've got breakable floors, like it could be a trap in your life.
Is it possible to adjust visual effects for people who can't handle blast processing? Yes, currently, right now, it's not optional, but we have talked about it, and that will most likely be a thing that we're going to be adding.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the release coming up. I'm going to look into it as much as I can, but it will be something we're in the game.
Yeah, the upcoming partial release, no. The upcoming partial release, I'm just going to go ahead and say no, but eventually we will. What was the quick key to refill your boost gauge?
O.
Oh, okay. You changed it, and I can't remember what it was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's fine. So here we have switches. These are currently functioning. We have 3 different types of switches. We have permanent switches. We have time switches that will work on a timer. I think this one's 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's 5 seconds.
And then we have a toggle switch. Like so. Boing. Alright.
Yeah, switches are a thing now for you guys. And we'll probably have to do some sort of little video or guide on them, because they are a little tricky to set up some blueprints.
Yeah.
It requires a little bit of knowledge of the engine. But,
we're also going to create a couple other variants as well. That single ball variant's not going to be the only one.
Oh yeah, we're going to have that, the stomp one.
Yeah. What was another thing we added? Oh, that's right. Tutorial bubbles. So these are completely customizable bubbles. You can type whatever you want in them to act as tutorials or to communicate with the player. Was you about to say Sunrise?
No.
Okay.
Just said hint ring.
Like, for example, this one here is the bounce tutorial bubble. Bounce deals damage to enemies, or like the stomping homing attack. It also respects the ground angle and will launch you accordingly based on the ground angle in which you stomped. Does the stomp bounce go to a fixed speed, or does it accelerate the longer it is? I'm assuming no. It does not. It is a currently set speed. What it does currently is it basically increases your gravity and launches you downward. So no, it does not currently increase your speed. The turn off sound effects for toggle switch should be the switch sound effect backwards. Yeah.
Is that actually how it is, or?
I don't think it is. Well, yeah, I think it is. It might be.
It could be. I mean, it could work. I couldn't find gameplay videos of switches very often.
Yeah.
So like, a lot of people don't really record, gameplay features. They just record the whole game.
Yeah, like speed runs or whatever. Like, oh, look at this.
Yeah.
I got an A rank on Act 1 of Tropical Resort. But like, yeah, the bounce will respect ground angle. It's a little bit buggy, but I think it's tone shifted down towards the end. I don't remember what we're talking what that is relate to.
Oh, he's on about the sound effect.
Oh, yeah. Another thing we've added is QuickTime events. They're not currently fixed for keyboard and mouse, so ideally, if you do it right, it'll send you off in the proper direction. If you do it wrong, it will not. And currently, right now,
if I'm correct, they actually are, but you have to use Y for it.
Yeah, but the actual Y key.
Yeah.
But,
Is
yeah, that's
the hint text font and stuff editable? I don't know about the font. The hitbox is still a little bit in work in progress, so
you can write your own text, yeah.
you can also decide how long the text box will be open for.
Yeah. Fonts is just more something for the engine. I think there's code somewhere to change fonts, but I haven't implemented that feature. You've just got to add your own font and just replace the font file.
Yep. So, yeah, the next thing we've got here is the wall jump, which is completely functional. It broke a little bit after Unreal updated, but I found a fix to it. Another thing we have currently is wall sliding now. You can actually officially wall slide down walls rather than dropping after a few seconds like it used to be. Like so.
Yeah, we're just needing the animation. That just needs polish.
Yep, the wall jump needs animation and sounds. The bounce needs proper sounds. What else is there? I've already
Pivot
shown.
needs
Say again.
an animation. Just saying, pivot needs an animation
Oh yeah.
and possibly a sound.
Which
You
one?
think, or just, just saying, should we add a sound to it, or should we just
To what specifically?
the pivot?
Oh, yeah, probably. We'll probably end up adding sounds. We'll probably change the visual effects on it. Things like that. For the Infinity level optimization purpose, would you rather add level streaming / culling, or have level transition with full game instance? That is a tough question because that's one of those things where it's really situational. You know, you gotta know what you want out of a level and how you want a level to work.
It also depends mostly on your actual computer.
Yeah.
But I've worked with Unreal, I believe the longest out of us, because I've studied it.
Yeah.
And I have worked with level streaming before. Level streaming is basically the main thing you want to aim for if you're going to make a big level. Because it's a little awkward to set up for this kind of a game. But you've got to just try and find a fine art for level streaming if you want to get away with the bigger levels like I've mentioned. But again, it's completely up to like what the actual level is and your computer specs. It's just a grab bag, really.
Can you wall jump at angle? Can you define that question?
Maybe like not a 90 degrees wall, like a 45 degree wall.
Can you wall jump at an angle? Or an angle? Currently no. The way the wall jump works currently is it's a capsule check. Basically, the wall has to confront the capsule check and have the proper angles. So, currently right now, no. But, well, kinda. As long as the wall passes the check it is. If that wall is at a slight angle, then probably. But, real quick thing, the wall jumping is not wall specific. As long as a wall passes the wall jump check, you can jump off of it. So it's not wall jump specific like in Sonic Generations or whatever.
Yeah. So you have to be a tad careful with some levels, but it's not super hard to mess up.
Yeah. I think for the most part that's it for the
like in-game features, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, we've got the stuff here. I've already. Oh, that's right. We forgot. Right over here.
Yeah.
Red rings.
Yeah.
So we've got red rings here.
There's a thing about that. Make sure you only pick up some.
Yeah. So you can hit you. Oh. Oh, did you remove that?
No, you gotta press U and then relaunch the level.
Oh, okay. So, and we also have the goal ring, which is not complete.
But the thing about the red rings, they're save.
Yeah,
So if you were to go and just pick up like 2 of them and then finish the level, and then restart the level, those 2 will still be saved.
Can you perform any other actions besides just jumping off the wall, like boosting? I don't believe so. I mean, you probably could, but you wouldn't be able to wall jump afterward. I could still walk around, by the way.
Oh yeah.
This is still kind of broken.
Yeah, the goal system is one of our major working problems.
You can always test it, like, to... While you're wall sliding, you probably can boost. But, yeah. I don't know, like, why you'd want to, but you can. You can also, like, bounce, but... It's still a little bit of work in progress. There's a couple of things we gotta fix about it, like, hey, you can't do these things while wall sliding. Or you can't do this or that. But, yeah. So yeah, as you can see, the red ring saved, even though I restarted the level.
And yet, as for example code, literally, it's coded right now for you just to press U, and then when you restart the level, that save data will get erased.
You think you should be allowed to walk around in that confined space like Sonic Colors? Yeah, that is possible. Like, it could be an option we could probably leave in, although we don't have, like, a collision box that prevents you from walking out of it. So if I completed the level, I could, like, just walk away.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking about, and yeah, it's the ranking system, man. That could be an option. Hey, I could make that a feature if I can't get this bug fixed.
Yep. Do you die after being killed in this version? I don't know. Do you die when you were killed? No. Currently, right now, the death system doesn't work. We'd like to get it done before this partial update. That's not confirmed, but we're going to try our best to get it done before the partial update.
Yeah, the way people think it might work is it's going to be a bit different now because of the master blueprint, but that's something for later.
Yeah, could be sick looking triangle jump from Sonic Heroes boosting between walls. Yep, and I'll probably go into it a little bit then, but for example, this right here. Let's go back to the camera location or the dynamic camera system. This here controls the trigger box, as you can see. If I were to move it, this here, the trigger box would move. But if I wanted to move the specific camera, I can like move it up. And you can see live what the camera will be looking at, basically what kind of angle you would have. So if I put it way down here, and then I went over here and did the thing, the camera angle would be different. The camera would be way down here versus where it was at originally. And to change this, for example, let's go over here. There's this camera. That's not the camera. There's this camera angle which follows this along here, and there's also another camera angle that follows this around here. Essentially what it is whenever you're doing this, where's it at? There's little boxes over here you're going to want to tick. There's the lock onto camera and the camera tracking. The one that follows Sonic around the loops, the one that will follow behind Sonic, is called the lock camera on character. And the other one, if I were to like do this one here, it is camera tracking. This one will track Sonic wherever you put it. So the camera location is right here, and it will track the character wherever they're at if you tick this boolean right here. But if you were to take the other boolean, lock on the camera, it doesn't matter where you put this camera at, as it will automatically lock behind the camera.
Yes.
We gotta port Grind and Death ASAP after pre-release. Oh, that loop-de-loot is hot. Any refinements to the skydiving? We're supposed to be adding trigger boxes to the skydiving. So currently right now, you can skydive anywhere as long as you're high enough. We're going to be changing that to where you will not be able to skydive anywhere, but rather we're going to be adding specific trigger boxes like this one, for example, where Sonic will only skydive as long as he's within the box. That way you can specify where in the level you want the character to skydive and where you don't want to.
Yeah, because right now we do have a disable camera trigger box, but obviously we're going to be inversing that.
Yeah. Will the dynamic camera hinder Sonic's sense of direction? Technically, yes. It does quite terribly at the moment, but that's one reason why we have the speed shift. So, for example, let's go into this trigger box. Like, Sonic's sense of direction is based on where the camera was at previously. Like, I have to, like... This control's really, really weird. It's a miracle I'm not falling off. But essentially... Essentially, Sonic's direction is based off the last node camera location. So if I fall off here, very slowly.
Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, yeah, if you walk around and move your mouse or like your camera, Sonic should follow that. So if you just held forward and moved your camera, I'm pretty sure Sonic would start turning.
Yeah. So this is why we have the speed shift here, because the speed shift basically makes Sonic's movement independent from the camera. So if I were to activate speed shift here, and I just hold forward, I don't have to worry about moving the camera around, as speed shift will automatically push me forward. Like, it makes Sonic's movement independent from the camera, so I don't have to worry about the camera messing up my directional inputs. So that's just one way that the directional camera can work alongside the speed shift. So for example, this one here, this loop, since the camera doesn't follow Sonic, I just use the speed shift to run around the loop. Pretty simple. But this camera over here does follow Sonic. So you can, it doesn't really matter. You can use the speed shift to go around this loop if you want. It doesn't matter too much. But you can also toggle the speed shift off. As you can see, the red arrows aren't following Sonic, so...
What I'm wanting to do is try out, in a way, this is going to be a way later feature, don't expect this for recent coming up release, but try and slightly get the automation for some loops as an option.
Yeah.
Just in case people really don't enjoy the control. I'll try, see if I can get it more automated. It's a horrible word. But it's a necessary evil.
Yep. We will be including things like 2D sections and automation. Because this is an engine, it's not required you use it. If you wish to use it, you can, but you don't have to. But there are probably going to be people who do want to because they want to be fancy and things like that. Can the speed shift be a trigger box thing too? Yes, it can be. Currently, it's not available right here, but one of the things that Emmanuel had created, and it is currently in the build, but I'm not going to show it off, obviously, because we've not bug tested it, and I don't know how it all functions. But the speed shift, the way that Emmanuel has set it up currently, the speed shift can be triggered based on a trigger box. So if you don't want any camera system at all, what you can do is just have speed shift like so. See? This loop doesn't have any specific camera, but the speed shift still allows you to run around it. So if you really wanted, you could put a trigger box around this loop-de-loop right here to only activate speed shift right there. So yeah, it is completely possible. Not currently how it's set up, but it is possible, and it probably will be set up there eventually.
Yeah, have it as an option. Gotta have all the options.
Yeah.
So how about
we're gonna go ahead and open up the character blueprint.
Do you not want to quickly show them just swapping to Shadow?
Oh yeah. How do you do that again?
World settings.
Okay, yeah. I don't I never play as Shadow, so I don't remember how to do it.
Well, yeah. You go in the world set.
Do you
Change
go Shadow game mode?
Character. No. You don't change game mode.
Oh.
The stream's lagging behind for me, so I'm waiting. So when you there's a little drop down for selected game mode.
Selected game mode, Blueprint, Sonic. So I just
where it says BP Sonic, change that to BP Shadow.
Okay, so I think this one right here. Hopefully I don't break everything.
Probably, I don't know, because the stream's lagging behind. Yeah, it's the default pawn class. Yeah, you got it on the stream.
Alright. Shadow game mode, yeah.
Yeah, the old game modes are still in the engine. I think we should probably get rid of those for the release.
Infinity Engine plus lead developer, by the way. I know, I'm terrible. There's a lot to do here. It's difficult keeping track of everything. I also never play a Shadow, so technically we have not added anything into Shadow's blueprint. Shadow is now completely dependent on the master blueprint, meaning Shadow can now do things such as the wall jump and the bounce.
He's got the example as well of the options being switched. His bumper abilities are switched.
Currently, Shadow does not have the pivot active. He has the sidestep, like so. But Shadow does have this speed shift on, things like that.
Oh, and hit the invincibility button.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because you got the sound on, haven't you?
He just doesn't like Shadow. I don't like Shadow. Shadow's a little pee-pee head. Kidding. Shadow's not a pee-pee head.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just letting this music play.
Oh, God. It's just went dead silent.
So for those of you who didn't notice, back whenever I'm just going to swap it back to Sonic real quick.
Get used to that character swapping.
Yep, you guys noticed right away. Sonic, the invincibility song can be independent of the character. So whenever we add Whisper, Whisper can have her own theme as well. If we add Knuckles, he can not chuckle. If we have Tails, he can fly high, things like that. So yeah, the Invincibility Box song will be, the music on it can be independent of the character. I love the different music choice for Invincibility. Damn, not here, sound effects on Shadow's death. Or Maria.
Oh, yeah.
Maria.
Maria.
Yep, we can do that as well. All right.
Oh, yes, we should add that.
So real quick, what I'm going to show off is the speed shoes, because I just got this implemented last night. So we boost around here. Boosting around obviously drains your boost, but if I were to hit this here, and I boost, Sonic will no longer drain boost with the speed shoes active. So I can just boost around like this. And as soon as the music is over, the boost drain will begin once again. So pretty neat, right? It was your death. Alright, so you might be asking yourself, well, what about if I don't want the boost in my fan game? Well, we thought about that too. So if you come over here to what we call the moveset structure, and you turn this boost on boolean off, compile, and we hit play, I'm gonna hit the boost button and nothing will happen. I can't boost anymore. But if I hit the speed shoes, my top speed will be increased, as well as my acceleration.
So some items are dependent on what you actually have ticked.
Yep. So as you can see, my top speed has decreased once again. and my acceleration is not as high. But yeah, the item box, it's not dependent on which one you have set.
Yeah, no. It's just certain ones will have abilities turned off or on depending on if you've got certain things off and on.
Yeah.
Like another example I can think of from the top of my head is the if you've got double jump turned off, pretty much all of the elemental shields will have their original abilities.
Yeah.
Because they were all dependent on a double jump.
Do the speed shift shoes music choice differ between character as well? Do we have that?
No, but I can easily add that if people want it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why we're not. Why not? We could do that.
Yeah,
still.
I can. If I've done it for invincibility, I can do it for the shoes. It's a super easy addition.
TW switching doesn't work on 4.22. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. All right, so. All right, so we've got the moveset structure here on. Is the moveset structure completely set up?
A lot of it is. I don't think every single one's set up.
Okay, so let's go and try this. Let's turn off the pivot, and we'll turn on the quick step. Hopefully this will work. We're going to try and get this working before we release the partial demo.
Yeah.
Yep, it does work.
Yeah, those two work, because we did it with Shadow.
Yeah. So, if you want on your fan game, Sonic to not have the pivot, but for the quick step, for example, all you got to do is open up the character blueprint, go over to this moveset structure, which is should be a Boolean.
Make sure it's actually Sonic as well, because you can change this independently for the child actors, because you've just done it in the master.
Yeah, I just done it in the master. So all I did was I turned on the quick step. If you look over here in the variables, just go quick step on or turn it off, and we turn the pivot on. So.
All right, there. Hess, you haven't been very talkative.
So now the quick step is off and the pivot is on. So if you want your characters to have specific abilities, it's as simple as turning on and off a switch. Do you know if the stomp and bounce are hooked up?
Yes, they are.
Where's the stomp at? Stomp
we need to. I'm gonna thing just for this as well. I don't know if I'm gonna get it done for the release, but I've had an idea for this whole moveset structure, because you know how you've just got a list of booleans.
Yeah.
I think I can make it so it's just like a toggle thing. So there's like a little drop-down menu that'll come down to tell you like, oh, for this set of buttons you want this move or something like that. Yeah. I'll talk more about it later. But I had an idea.
So yeah, and that's a bug, but that's okay. It's the slow motion bug. That's been in since Vanilla Infinity. Owie.
Yeah, fixed a few of the slow motion bugs, but they seek for the cracks.
So obviously.
Oh yeah, it was on the Abyss Flash.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be impossible for Sonic to have every single move. There's just not enough buttons on a gamepad and not enough ideal keys on a keyboard for Sonic or his friends to have every single possible move. So, you can decide, like, if you're playing with a controller and you don't want the drift on, what you can do is you could, like, go over here to, where's the project settings? It's an edit. Yeah, project settings. Yeah. One thing you can do here is in project settings, you can go over to inputs, and a lot of these are custom events that allow us to do these abilities, like the pivot left and the pivot right. You can go into these and change what buttons you want to press in order to use these abilities. So, for example, currently right now, the quick step and the pivot both use the same buttons. They both use E on a keyboard or the gamepad right shoulder buttons or left shoulder buttons, you know. There's a left and the right versions. Yeah. So if you want, you can actually remove these and you can add a different input, for example. So if you wanted to put the pivot on the trigger buttons, you could remove the shoulder buttons, and you could add the trigger buttons instead, and you could actually have the pivot and the quick step on at the same time. So
Yes.
extremely complicated. We're gonna go into more detail in like tutorials and stuff like that, but these are just some of the features you guys can look forward to.
It's definitely a tutorial topic.
Yeah, the adjustability is one of things that Sonic Infinity really need. What about gear shift with D-pad or something? Can abilities be swapped during runtime? That's something we have yet to talk about. Currently, right now, no.
Yeah. It's easy because I've done it before in another project, but it's really, is it something that people really need or want?
If people really want it, yes. If people don't want it, then no. I don't see it as a necessity, so I don't think adding it by default is something we're going to be doing.
Yeah, it's definitely not a high priority if it was to be a feature.
Yeah. Alright, so this is some of the code that's brand new. So, other things like that, we've got... where is this?
We've cleaned this master character blueprint since the vanilla, and we still get lost in it.
Yes, we get lost in it. It's inevitable, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's slightly smaller. It used to be a lot smaller, but all the new stuff we've added, there's just like functions within functions within functions.
Alright, so someone was asking earlier about the double jump. You can turn off the double jump here in the moveset structure. You could also turn on the drop dash. I want it, but it's fine with me if it's not happening. Alright, so if a lot of people do end up wanting it, we will add it. So
yeah, wouldn't expect it for the partial release.
So the drop dash is obviously still much a work in progress. It will play a sound, and it will launch you forward whenever you hit the ground.
I've actually never tried the drop dash.
Ow.
Kind of works.
You'll see it on the stream.
Yes, I'm looking forward to hearing or seeing this. I want to see the pain.
It's very painful. Currently, right now, the drop dash and the double jump cannot be used at the same time. I'm trying to get that fixed, but we will see. It may be impossible. It may be possible, but extremely complicated. So we'll just have to see about that. So I know somebody was asking earlier if the double jump is optional. It is optional, and it can be replaced with the drop dash if you so desire. Let's go ahead and turn that back on. For those of you who want to know what it's like if they're both turned on at the same time, essentially,
oh dear,
what happens is you will double jump, or home attack. That's cool too. Oh, I must have changed it. Alright, so technically they cannot be used at the same time. What it used to be is if you double jumped, it will also activate the drop dash, so as soon as you landed, you'd rocket off. Which, it's a good thing I changed that. If Sonic is going balls off the walls fast, jumps and tries to bounce, will the momentum be carried over it? Yes, it will be. So let's go ahead and just...
Yeah. That's what I was mentioning in my streams when I was playing other fan games, because I kept saying to everybody, I'm sorry, trying to bounce and move at the same time. I'm way too used to this.
Yeah, you was playing GT demo, weren't you? Alright, so just to really emphasize this, let's turn off the boost, so that way we get some insane speed without needing to boost. Really show this off. So yes. Hop! Hop! See, like that? The bounce does respect your movement speed. It will also respect ground angles, so whenever you bounce on an angle, it will shoot you off. Let's turn that back on.
Ooh, I think that is.
Is the short burst boost bug fixed in this build? Yes.
Yeah. Pretty sure you fixed that, didn't you?
Yeah. Sonic will also stop randomly breaking boost whenever running on uneven terrain. Things like this right here. Like I'm running on a bunch of bumpy terrain and Sonic is still boosting. So yeah. What was causing the short boost was the fact that his boost was constantly breaking. And what the problem with that is there is a minimum required speed you have to hit in order to boost. So essentially what I did is I just raised that, because if you run around on uneven terrain constantly, what it is the way that Unreal calculates speed and movement is it would constantly drop you below that threshold that you needed to hit. So Sonic would constantly stop boosting, but then Unreal would try to push you back forward to the speed that you were at, so you would instantly hit back to the speed you needed to be boosting, so you would be boosting again. It's complicated.
So many complicated things. This is what you call game development. He has another question.
Ha. Just, you know, everyday Sonic things.
Oh.
Everyday Sonic things.
I can see it on stream now.
For those who are wondering, I know what this bug is, and I know what the problem with this bug is, and I keep coming across it over and over again. Mainly because I keep fixing the bug, and then forgetting that I fixed the bug, and then unfixing the bug, and then... Yeah.
It's the new ability that we're not supposed to be talking.
It's
The Sonic Slide.
It's the Sonic Slide. Think you'll add that thing that attracts rings to Sonic as he boosts like an Unleashed. Yeah, that is something we're going to be adding.
It's actually relatively quite easy.
Yeah,
We can easily add that.
Yeah, if you watch right here, Sonic automatically attracts rings whenever he's at a certain distance, so that's a simple, hey, if he's boosting, simply increase the range in which he can attract rings. So that's not going to be difficult, and that's completely doable. And we probably will do it.
We probably can get that done for the partial release.
Yeah, we probably could do that. It wouldn't take too long.
It would
So-
take like 5 minutes. I don't want to say that now because I probably jinxed it.
So there's that, and let's go ahead and open up Sonic's individual blueprint. I've not messed with Sonic's individual blueprint, mainly because I've never really had any need to.
Yeah,
Anything I change to
show
the master
how
blueprint.
empty it is.
Yeah, it's completely empty. Look at that. Actually, let's go ahead and open up Shadows, because Shadows has some
Yeah, Shadow has
different...
some unique. Yeah.
Most of this is animation stuff, I think.
Yeah, literally, the only reason you see code in Shadows,
It's
the big
animation.
chunk of code, is this quick step. Because he has that unique animation where he ports. So this is also showing you how modular using child actors are. It doesn't mean you have to use the code from the master. You can override it and make your own code.
Yeah. This is constructed straight. Will the attraction stack with a lightning shield? Probably not.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't think
I thought
should
about it.
stack, because that'd be ridiculous.
I mean, we could probably make it an option if people want it to stack, in which case you can have all the rings, which...
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just standing, like, I don't know, in the middle of Spring Yard Zone, there's just rings coming everywhere.
For those of you who are still watching, quick thing, don't put a million rings in your level. For the love of God, do not do that. Your computer will burst into flames.
The only time you're allowed to do that is if you level sequence.
If you have...
Please.
If you have a form of culling, or if you have level sequences, that's fine. But for the love of God, if you don't have either of those, do not put, like, 1,000 rings in your level. Your computer will catch on fire. That is not a joke.
And we are not held responsible for anybody's computers breaking. Put that in as a quick disclaimer.
So, yep. Where is it that you go to change the moveset structure for Shadow?
You have to click on the BP Shadow self on the top left underneath the green button that says Add Component. Which you have already got highlighted.
Oh, yeah,
and then
okay.
Yeah, and then in the details panel, scroll down. I need to get this segmented away so it's easier to find, but you should be able to see a drop-down menu that says character ability structure or something like that. I think it's important.
That's not what I want. Actor input.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's in important, which is below his states. It's near the top.
Okay, yeah, I see it. Moveset structure. So
yeah, it needs to be more obvious.
In the individual character child blueprints, like, I can change their movesets from here. So if I went, and let's change the character to Shadow, and let's turn the boost off. And let's compile. Shadow shouldn't be able to boost. Yep, he cannot boost. That means whenever he hits this, he'll get the increased speed boost. So yeah, I can just turn that back on. Boop.
Knuckles wall spin dash.
Please add Knuckles wall spin dash.
Is a wall spin dash actually a thing,
like,
or is that?
Is that where, like, whenever Knuckles climbs a wall, he can spin dash on the wall? That'd be interesting.
That'd
be difficult, but it'd be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be doable. It'd just be a bit of a challenge, but I guess it could work. I mean,
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, if you didn't see the very beginning of the stream, obviously we talked about the confirmed character.
So for Shadow, for the sake, I'm just going to turn off the bounce. I did not want to do that. Oh well, it auto-compiled. Thanks, Unreal.
Yeah, she's going to have to push this afterwards.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to push this, because I'm not changing anything. So yeah, because the way I've changed it, Shadow can stomp. But if I were to swap this over to Sonic, like, Shadow can stomp and he can quick step, but whenever I change it to Sonic, Sonic can bounce. And he can pivot. So that's just an example of how the child and the masterclass blueprints work. And anytime we add a new character, if you guys want to import your own characters into it, essentially that's how you're going to be customizing your character. It's going to be super easy. A lot of the work's going to be done for you guys already. All you got to do is, like, tick on a few booleans, unless of course you want to add on your own specific code and things like that. So
yeah, it's not that difficult, but again, we'll be making a tutorial for people that will probably need it.
So that's basically all we're really going to be talking about today, I think. I think we've pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, pretty much everything.
Here's the thing, the Force's air boost.
Oh yeah, there was that one of us.
I added this the other day. If you have not double jumped yet, like, if you double jump and then boost, you will do a normal regular air boost, but if you have not double jumped and you boost, you'll actually get launched upward into the air, like you would in Forces. So just a little random thing.
Yep.
I should probably make that modular.
Sonic and Shadow rigged the same. Are you on about I'm guessing?
No, I was just talking about how Sonic and Shadow can be changed. So, like, for example, Sonic here has the bounce. If I play as Shadow, Shadow will have the stomp. Shadow has the quick step, while Sonic will have the pivot. So technically, they are both rigged to the Masterclass Blueprint, and the Masterclass Blueprint is what's deciding all of these abilities, or how they technically functionally work, but the individual Blueprint class, yeah, actual animation Blueprint classes, like Shadow or Sonic.
You can see in the bottom left, they're both separate.
Yeah.
But they're still the same Sonic and Shadow from the. We haven't replaced them.
Animation-wise, not really. No. I mean, they each individual have their own animations. Like, all of this code here, it's all animation. I think all the Master Blueprint animations are Sonic's. I'm pretty sure. Hey, Phoenix, how's it going?
Default, yeah, because by default, the master character is Sonic. But we don't use the master character. We use the child actor that is Sonic.
Yeah.
And this is going to be one of the things you'll have to do with when you make a child actor. It's tedious, but it's kind of just a one and done thing. You'll have to assign every animation that's in a list.
Yeah.
You'll have to make sure that they're all full. But again, that will be something that will be shown off in during the tutorial series.
So whenever we create characters like Knuckles and Tails, we'll most likely be importing a lot of their animations from, like, Generations or other games. But whenever we create a character like Whisper, we're gonna have to create all of those by scratch.
Yeah,
so
she
Whisper
is
is
going
gonna
to be
take a little while.
Yeah, she's going to be, even though she's like slightly further ahead than the other two, she's actually going to be probably the last character done.
Yeah, we've already started work on Whisper, but she is not going to be done. And for those of you who are wondering, we actually do have her in here. All of
You
her,
want to show her off.
yeah, all of her stuff. Yeah, she's asserting dominance right now, as you can see, as she should be. Her mask is optional, right? Like, she has a face underneath the mask, obviously.
She does have a face. You got to actually open up a blueprint and just set the visibility to hidden for the mask.
Yeah.
And as you can see, I had to do a very slight change to her design. Instead of having the capsules on her cape, she's got them on her hips. It's a very small change I had to do, but it's for a good reason.
Yeah. There's a good reason why this is like this. Although it's kind of weird looking, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right. How are you doing? How's Mother doing? So yeah, here's Whisper. This is basically all we have of her.
Yeah.
Because
if you press the V key, I think it is. I think it's K. There's some key over to the right where if you press it, it'll change the color of the eye.
where
I'm not sure what key it is off the top of my head.
is it in a mesh?
It's in her code somewhere. In the event graph, you should see a key press.
There's event tick, event gameplay, event begin gameplay.
Where is it? It's definitely somewhere. There's definitely a key you can press, and you can swap the eye color.
It's here, I think. Refresh eye color, but I don't see a specific key.
Oh, refresh eye color. It's that bottom piece of code. Yeah, character specific. It's probably K or J. It's in the project settings. If you want to just quickly look up the button.
Whatever. It's not super important right now.
Yeah. It's not. But the eye color changes, but
we can change the eye colors. You can also change the colors in the things like the egg pawns and the egg flyers. We have different variants of eggs, the spinners and the spinner electrics. This here's an enemy. We're not even sure if we're gonna have the egg fighter in it. We've yet to discuss whether or not we're going to be adding the egg fighter, but his model is in currently. Oh, here's another thing we can do, real quick. This is how easy it's gonna be. Let's see here. Let's where are the?
Is this gonna be the?
I'm gonna add an enemy. All right, so let's add in a mono beetle right here. So, boop, we got the mono beetle right here. Look at that, nice and shiny.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm lagging behind on the stream.
Yeah.
I thought you got the wrong one.
Now, where is it? All right, so right under here, under default, we can look at gun beetle type, and if we just hit mono, and we can hit beetle, bam, it swapped the enemy. So now we've got a gunner. Although there's the stealth one. What is a stealth? I don't know what the stealth is.
That one's not actually added, but that's going to be the one that that disappears.
Okay, disappears. You making a game? I'm making an engine. That's what I'm doing. I'm not currently making a game. So, yep, that's how easy it's going to be. There's also the...
Show the egg pawn.
Where's the egg pawns at? Are they under enemies?
Yeah, they're in the enemies.
So yeah, we got the egg pawns here. So there's egg pawn types. They're custom, golden, knight, manager. Oh yeah, these are preset colors, I believe.
Yeah, they're from previous games. I looked at the list.
And then there's a custom one, which you can change the color right there under custom color. So like, boom.
So this is the same for the egg flapper as well. There's a custom variant, so you make your own variants.
See, like right there. See, perfect. So you got your own golden ones right there. Same thing for the egg flappers.
I've actually
Standard.
seen that idea before.
The bomb ones, cannon ones, gun ones, laser ones, needle ones, which are not functional currently. You can still kill them. We have to change that. The searcher ones and the solid ones. So same thing here. We can add custom colors. Idea. Gravity shield that lets up cling to walls and ceilings. That's not a bad idea. Egg pawn.
Yeah, I actually heard that shield idea before.
Egg pawn OC incoming. Let's do this, and let's just change this to this, and let's make this purple. See? So completely customizable colored egg pawns. So if you want to create your own egg pawn type with its own unique code, you can also color them however you want.
Yeah, I'm probably going to set it up so you can do like a boolean to do pre-existing types with a custom color scheme.
Yeah.
But again, you can always just code.
And this will probably be a thing for future enemies as well.
Yeah, enemies that can be easily like customized like this, and I want to add it for pretty much as I can.
Alright,
But I don't think it will work for every single enemy type.
I don't think the Iblis flyers are unique in any way.
The Iblis flyers do actually have the ability to change color. The egg pawns, but I don't think I opened up the option to do that.
Yeah.
It's either a Mephiles version or a Iblis version.
So yeah, they can follow a specific track here, as you can see. They also have fire ranges here. And as you can see right here, you can say tracker user no, or track user reference, or yes, and then you have to reference the specific track, like take or track close loop, and you have to like reference which specific track that they're going to be following. I will have a good day, everyone. All right.
Phoenix.
Thanks, Phoenix. He's my younger brother.
All right. Have a nice day yourself.
So yeah, there's a lot of really cool things, and we've got so many other things planning on being added. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, here's another thing real quick. We're gonna go
You said that twice.
Yeah, I know. I just keep thinking of new things.
Here's another thing. But wait, we're not done yet.
But wait, there's more. Splines.
Oh boy.
Currently, splines are broken. Just to let you know, splines are currently broken.
You have a system that allows enemies to chase you.
Yes, we will. It's still a work in progress. For example, I believe this Mono Chaser, this Mono Chaser is supposed to follow you. Currently, it's not set up properly yet. It's especially not in this demo.
Yeah, the Moto bug is definitely very whip right now.
It's very much a work in progress. We don't know if it's going to be done by the time we get to this next this partial release. I believe Hess is working on this.
Yeah, this is Hess's domain.
Yeah.
You still there, Hess?
I don't know if he's still there. Probably.
Having some issues with my laptop.
Oh, I see.
Oh, right.
Oh, I can almost like faintly hear you. I can mainly hear Reese. I can't hear Fizzwiz.
Have you turned him off?
I'm trying to follow with the chat actually.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so yeah, we've got spines here. That allows us to do things. And there was a button you can hit that allows you to just... I think it's... No. Yeah, here you go. It's Alt. You can hit Alt to add an extra spline. And the spline's curve. And change that so, obviously. And you can also change this to... Do you just change the static mesh?
Yes, the mesh.
Which is...
Because...
Where's it at?
Path mesh? Are you wanting to change it from a cylinder to the...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the path mesh tab, which just says mesh on it. There's like 3 meshes in there. So I can't remember what the platform is called off the top of my head. think it's just Green Hill Ground or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
No clue. You can click on one of the other ones and figure out what it is.
That's Green Hill Rocks. Green Hill Track is what it's called.
Yeah, I knew it had Green Hill in it.
Also, we're gonna have to change this. Where was it? There's a slight bug currently right now. We gotta change this, but it's not set up properly. Yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
No.
You gotta change the forward axis.
Yeah,
for
you gotta
that.
change the forward axis to Y, and you have to rotate everything. That's not what I needed to do.
Yeah. It's more to do with just the way that I exported the mesh from Blender. You got to be very specific with the way you export your meshes if you want to make spline meshes. But it's not super difficult.
So yeah.
Again, if anybody needs a small tutorial for that, that'd probably be an idea for a tutorial vid, just like general features.
And this is real time, so I can just run over here and...
My phone's dying.
Oh no. Oh, I didn't turn the collision on for it.
Oh yeah, there's a reason for the whole collision. I'll just mention that. If you've got a really long spline path, for weaker computers, there's more of a chance of the game lagging whenever you're moving. So the idea of turning the collision off and on is, if you turn the collision off while you're working on it, you won't get any performance issues. But if you have it on, basically every time you're moving a point in the spline mesh, the collision needs to update. So it's just there for like editing optimization.
Yeah. Will water turn off the fire shield? It's supposed to. It doesn't yet. It'll also turn off the electric shield.
Yeah, those are features for that.
I think the air shield is also supposed to allow you to breathe underwater, but I don't know if we have decided upon that yet.
Here's a question for everybody. Do you think the air shield should be removed when you're underwater, or should it stay?
I think it's fine for staying. I'm just wondering if it should let you breathe underwater or not. So,
I think the breathing underwater should make sense as well.
because you know, it's an air shield.
Yeah.
Currently, the air shield doesn't do anything. Most of them don't do anything except for the ice and the water shield.
The shield used to function, but I've just recently changed something about them, so that's why they're all. But believe me, they'll work.
Yeah, they'll work. Kind of seems redundant. Well, we'll have to see and test it out. So yeah. Now I think that's everything. Pretty sure that's everything.
I think so.
The speed shift will be toggleable. It's currently right now it is toggleable on play. Like I can turn on and off at will while playing. But that may be left in as an option, but we may also make it modular to where if you don't want your game to have speed shift at all or have it specific, then yeah.
If anybody wants any final questions, I could say now's the time.
Yeah.
Because we are going to probably start wrapping this up next.
I'm hungry. I've not eaten at all. I literally woke up 10 minutes before we were supposed to start streaming.
And this has gone on a little bit longer than I thought it would. I think this has been a really good stream. We've gotten a lot of juicy content out for you guys.
Jesus engine. Yep. The ice shield turns you into Jesus. Lets you walk
It's
on water.
Jesus Zero the Hedgehog. We're not adding that character before anybody asks.
No, Jesus the Hedgehog will not be a character.
You can make that one yourself. With the power of the master character blueprint. Black Spidey. Join the party pretty late. Could you all explain real quick what the speed shift thingy even is?
Alright.
Domain.
So, I'll explain it since I'm the creator of it. Speed shift, currently what it is now is Your movement is dependent on the camera. If I move left, if I move the camera left or right, Sonic will move along with it. So on and so forth. But what speed shift does is it makes your movement independent from the camera. So those red arrows signify that speed shift is on. So now that speed shift is active and I move the camera around, Sonic's movement is officially independent from the camera. Like so. But whenever I slow back down and speed shift turns off, my movement becomes dependent on the camera once again. So I'm going to go and toggle it off and see I've hit top speed and my speed shift is off. So if I hold forward and I move the camera around, the camera will dictate my forward direction. But whenever I turn it on, I can move the camera around and not be hindered, my movement not be hindered. I toggle it back off, so on and so forth. The purpose of it was to make loops usable, because like without speed shift, loops is pretty difficult to do. It is possible, but it's very, very difficult, and it doesn't work very smoothly.
The camera.
Yeah.
I used to be able to go around the loops without it, but it was you had to like twist the camera around.
But with speed shift on, I don't have to move the camera at all, and bam, I can run around a loop. Just not very good, apparently.
Question there. Who do you predict will be highly requested characters? Well, I don't know. That's up to you guys.
If I had to guess,
Big.
Big the Cat, yeah. Shadow is obviously already in. We've already confirmed we're going to be making Silver, Tails, and Knuckles. I can see Blaze being a requested character. I can see Metal Sonic being a requested character. I could also see people wanting Mephiles. Or not doing Mephiles.
Yeah, I think probably some people might ask for Amy.
Amy could be a requested character.
Yeah, again, guys, this is kind of more like something that you guys, if you tell us who you might want, and we're going to consider it. Doesn't mean we would add them. It's just we would consider it for the whole plus pack idea.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to go ahead and do Blaze because I'm pretty sure everyone in my team is a huge Blaze fan. So add Eggman, or we write Eggman the Man. Oh, we'll have to add Eggman now.
Oh, we got to add those really weird, like, spindly legs that he had in Sonic Adventure 2 when he was outside his mech.
Oh,
I always found that weird. His, like, body did not move with his legs.
This is Chow Garden Eggman.
God.
Back on the speed shift thing, we have a camera system that allows you to go around loops without moving the camera. Like, the camera will automatically follow behind Sonic in case you weren't here for that, obviously. So,
Yeah.
speed shift is not necessarily required for it, but it does still make things easier.
Yeah, again, to anybody who's just joined, when we finish the stream, I would suggest watching the beginning again, because we went over stuff at the beginning.
Yeah, we went over a lot of stuff in the beginning. So speed shift is not required for loops, but it does make things easier. But, okay, sure, let's do that, Sonic. That's fine.
Sonic has a mind of his own sometimes. We're still trying to tame him.
The sticking to ground feature, Sonic likes to abuse.
Yeah. I've seen it so many times where I've been running around loops and I've just somehow managed to make it on top of the loop. When you... I'm guessing when Knuckles is added, make sure his walk cycle slows down when he hits top speed. Are you on about because, like,
in Sonic Adventure, his legs go like in 1,000,000 miles per hour?
Yes. It would be, yeah, we definitely wouldn't make it be like that.
We'd have to... I don't know which animations we could pull from, because none of the more recent modern Sonic titles have any animations for the characters.
Yeah.
If I may add, there is a real Knuckles mod with the correct animation and all, so it's not per se a problem.
That's right, I forgot. The guys who made the real Tails and Knuckles mods for Generations, didn't you say that they've offered to give us the animations?
Yes, and also I've spoken with Chaos X. for his new silver animation.
All right, so yeah.
Nice. Oh, and another thing I want to just add, because I realized at the beginning of the stream your little avatar got the credit. But for the presentation, a lot of the renders were made by Rock on DeviantArt. I got permission to use those renders. I wanted to credit him before I forget.
Yeah. Another thing, for those who are also working on the project, if you wish, you are more than welcome to donate any code you have to the project. For example, I think we don't have rail grinding in currently right now, but if I remember right, Neka had said that he was okay with us using the code for it, so I think that that's the code we're going to be using.
Yeah, because he's pretty much got like the best functioning rail grind so far.
Yeah. I've not looked at it, but I know you worked on rail grinding for a very long time, and you went through like what, 10 different iterations of the rail grinding? Like, didn't you like try over and over again, end up restarting over and over again with the rail grinding?
Me? Oh yeah.
So yeah, we have tried rail grinding. We are not good enough for rail grinding, so we're probably...
Look, if the splines for the pathway is still broken for me, there was no way I was going to get it done for the rail grind.
One final question, thoughts on Naso Unleashed sequel? I'm probably not going to watch it.
I'm interested to watch it just because it was like something I used to watch when I was really young. But it's like, it wasn't going to be... Well, he said 2019, but I think he moved it again to 2020. I'm not too sure. I haven't been keeping up with it.
So yeah, so if anyone wants to donate any code that you have, damn, 4.22, oof, the splining. But yeah, if you guys want to, bring it up to me first, because like you might be trying to donate code that we already have, or we're already working on, or we already have finished and we've just not told you about it. But if you guys want to contribute to the project, you're more than welcome to. I will credit you for your work. I'm not gonna fucking steal your work. You will be credited in the README.
Wait, I was never told I would be credited. I thought you said you were stealing all my code.
Yeah, I'm stealing, except Ryza specifically. I'm stealing all of his code. It's mine, actually.
Do I still get my cupcake?
Only if it's good.
Only if the code doesn't throw out any...
Here you go, my donation. Oh. I mean, I'm accepting money if you want to donate to me. I mean, you can do that. You can donate bits or money through PayPal.
You can donate to my Twitch as well. I have a Twitch.
It's not going to the project. It'll just go to us personally. But yeah, I mean, if you want to.
Yeah.
I will.
Because officially, we are not allowed to fund this at all.
No, we're not allowed
anybody
like
says anything.
It's a fan project. Obviously, no one's making money off of it. What about my code? No, Shadow's not being credited. Shadow.
Oof.
All of Shadow's code is actually my code. I'm kidding. Yeah, I'll have to put that in the README as well. I have to update the README. I've not updated the README in months, and I've not added any of this stuff into the README. I've got to update the README with all of this shit.
You're gonna have fun with that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna take me all day to go through absolutely everything and add descriptions for it and credits.
Yeah, I believe that's it for the end of the stream, isn't it?
I think so. I think that's gonna be it.
We got a few more questions. Again, if anybody has any questions, probably just ask them in the Discord now. And we will answer what we can.
Yeah.
Because we still got some things that we're not talking about.
Yeah, there's a couple of things we're still not going to be talking about, but if you do come up with any questions, you're more than welcome to ask them. So, yep, I think that's just going to be it for now, then.
Right, just keep on the lookout for when we officially have a release for the partial release.
Yeah, we're going to try and aim for the middle of next month for the partial release. And, yeah, I think that's it. If anyone's new to the stream and you want to follow my Discord, you can do that. E123 Omega win. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know.
Again, if you guys want to vote for characters,
you can
and he comes out on top, we would add him.
You can do so in the Discord.
Yeah. Wait, could we probably do like a straw pool thing? Do those last forever?
I do not know.
Yeah, we'll look into it.
Anyway, I will see you all next time. I don't know if we're gonna, because of this stream, we're probably not gonna do a screenshot Saturday tomorrow because we've pretty much shown everything.
Yeah, there's nothing to show now.
As of right now, that we're ready to show.
Yes.
Infinity Plus 2 release date? No. Only
No, we're not making
Infinity
this
Plus 69. That's the only one we're gonna be releasing. All right, so
yes.
I think that's it. I'll see you all guys later.
Thank you to everybody who joined, and we'll see you later.